All right, for some reaction on this, now I'm joined by Mpho Kwinika, General Secretary of the Independent Policing Union of South Africa. Good to have you, and thank you very much for your time. I suppose what else came out of the inquiry today is the lack of action from the police. I think one of the MPs saying police sat on their hands for a whole 6 months when, for example, they already had some kind of evidence that indicates that there's perjury here of some sort, that there is an individual who's claiming bodies, and the bodies are found in a river, and that body found in the river could be linked to Dr. Nandi Famagudumana. Yet, no arrest was effected as early as last year, to the point where money had to be spent now to go and fetch in Tanzania. What are we not understanding about the police work and what police needed to do? Or, in your view, what is it that police needed to do that they didn't do?
Well, the parliamentarians have the right to get act about the way we have responded to this issue of Thabo Bester, because the post-mortem report was issued immediately, and there were some discrepancies which could have assisted the police not only to depend on the issue of the inquest and the culpable homicide case that was open then, but the issue of escape from lawful custody. And I will say this looking at the following facts, that the post-mortem report indicated the discrepancy in terms of the height. It spoke of 1.5 meter tall of the person that was found in the cells, and the height of Thabo Bester was at 1.71. That on its own should have already given a sign to the authorities that the person that they had found in the cells was in fact not the body of Bester. There are other allegations as well, which we are gathering, from our sources there, that some of the items which were to be picked up by the family member, which belonged to Thabo Bester, it is believed that they were contaminated with some sort of, some fuel or petrol or so. And the laptops, the items which were left there, which we thought the police would have picked them up and took them with them. So these are the issues which really have confused the public, and they had the right to ask the questions that they've asked this afternoon.
This is exactly what I'm wanting to raise with you, Mpho, that there is some kind of a lack of cooperation, and the minister is talking to the challenges, for example, that the police had to go through, where police suspected that this is an escape and this was not a suicide, but they had to wait for Correctional Services to open a case before they can even begin to do any kind of investigation. And for the public, they think, well, you're all in the security justice cluster. There should be a collaboration. Why is this not happening?
Yeah. You see, I think when he ended there, he spoke about the committee now collecting as much of information to enhance the processes moving forward. But I think when it comes to the issues of public and partnership programs that they have with Mangaung and even Kutama Sintumu, these are contractual issues. But other than that, I think, and I heard him saying that he's not saying that he's abdicating the responsibilities to G4S, because they are the ones who have sourced that kind of services from the business people to partner with them. And then that clause should have been embedded in the contract, which allows the working relationship between all institutions of state, so that in times like these ones, they don't have problems that they were talking to this afternoon and even this evening.
What is the expectation? I mean, at least from the members of parliament, by and large, Democratic Alliance, maybe even ACDP's SWART, the expectation that you would alert victims, families of the victims, but even the broader South African public, as soon as you get the information that there is a murderer and a rapist out on the loose?
Look, Bester was already convicted, and I don't think we should have had something to worry about if we were to inform the public about his escape from the prison, because he has already been convicted. The ID parade, I don't think is needed there, unless if this thing has happened somewhere in Tanzania there. Just like what happened, when he arrived there, he went straight into his cell, the new home that they've created for him. And he will appear tomorrow now for another charge, because he has already been sentenced on the other charges. So the public expected the police to do better and inform them, and especially the rape victims, because if a person escaped from here, you don't know what is he going to do next. He may go after some of the people whom he believes maybe they still owe him something. So it is important that things like this, when they happen, the public are informed immediately.
Do you suspect that at some level there could be the involvement of the South African Police Service itself in terms of some of the delays in terms of investigations here?
Look, I think Ipusa have been saying about the threshold of crimes that are to be investigated between DPCI and the SAPS itself. The threshold meaning DPCI investigate serious crimes, serious organized crimes, serious commercial crimes, serious corruption, all of those things that have got serious in them. And I think the issue of Thabo Bester, we underestimated it, because you can look now the massiveness of the work that has been put into before he could even escape from that prison. I mean, going out and go and look for a body that has severely, been, killed somewhere else and brought into the prison, and then making it difficult for the prison authorities to know whether this person is coming from within or is person from outside the environment, because that's what really took them long to know that the person that escaped is indeed Thabo Bester. So the two departments, the one that we have in the SAPS, which is headed by General Sibia, is a very knowledgeable man. I think he has worked in DPCI before. He went to Johannesburg City Council. He worked there, and he's back here. He's the head of this organized crime. We should have given this job to people like this. And I'm not trying to undermine anyone. I'm just saying their job is massive. Their job is huge, and it needed people with a serious understanding of this work.
Mpho Kwinika, appreciate your time. Thanks so much for coming on tonight and joining us.